In a moment of silent reflection, I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Lobazinski, if you could take attendance.
Mr. Allier?
Present.
Mr. Garcia?
Here.
Mrs. Smith-Gomez? Here. Mr. Kuba?
Here.
Mr. Crow. Let the record show all are present and accounted for.
Thank you, Mrs. Lobazinski. Any public participation today, Mr. Allier?
Yes, we do. Mr. Rick Bulbrick would like to speak about the minutes of October 15th and the review of the tentative collective bargaining agreement.
Okay.
Rick Bulbrick, 9221 Parkway Drive, Highland, Indiana. This has to do with the minutes that you're going to look through shortly. Specifically, this is October the 15th. This is a question I probably could have asked the last time we had a meeting. I didn't, so it's my fault. But I'd like to just explore this for a moment. In the third, this is called the Review Tentative Teacher Collective Bargaining Agreement. This is like the heading. The third sentence reads, the second sentence, Dr. Smith reported that the teacher ratified two-year agreement. The teacher's salary would be $2,013 for the year 25-26. And the question I have is, I would assume that that's an average number. And so what I'd like to explore, what was the low end of that increase for all the teachers, and what was the high end of the increase? Is that a fair question? I'm asking it. You don't have to answer the question, but I pose the question.
All teachers get 2013. The way collective bargaining works in Indiana is it's a pot of money. Instead of the old days, it was a percentage, and now it's a pot of money.
So that's not an average. That's exactly what the number is.
Correct.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Allier?
Nope, that is all.
Thank you. If I could have a motion to approve both minutes from such minutes, one for October 15 and one from October 21.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kuba. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez.
You got it right.
Any discussion? I looked right at Victor and I said, Mrs. Gomez, I'm starting off hot. I'm starting off hot today. Woo, a little warm in here. All right, any discussion?
Keep this official.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Correspondence, Dr. Smith.
None at this time, Mr. President?
Superintendent's report, Dr.
Yeah, I'll be brief because I know we want to get to this GEO bond hearing and get that hopefully taken care of tonight. But a couple of really cool things I want to mention as we get into our last full week before Thanksgiving break. Our Highland Theater Company is putting on Neil Simon's Fools. That's our first big show of the year, so we're excited about that. And just a reminder, and Mr. Reiser's not here tonight because he's across the street getting ready for that. I thought it was really neat what they did this year. It's my first time they've done this since I've been here in 13 years. They're doing double cast because there's only 10 cast members for this show, but 50 kids tried out. And they want to give as many kids an opportunity as possible. So because of that, by doing two casts, now 20 kids can participate instead of 10. So I thought that was a great idea. So the way it's going to work is Thursday, I think Mr. Reiser's group's going Thursday and Saturday, and Mr. Damasika's group's going Friday and Sunday. The Thursday, Friday are at 7, the Saturday, Sunday are matinees at 2. So
Is there any trash talking involved?
I don't know. I'm going to go Thursday and Friday because I want to watch the two different casts to see how each character is developed different. Because they would be interesting to see how each kid takes on their character.
Pretty cool.
I think that would be neat, but should be exciting. Also, really good luck to Coach Kundich. Coach Eric Kundich, our girls basketball coach. His next game is tomorrow night. I don't think a lot of people realize this. His next win will be his 200th win, and in 17 years of coaching. Most coaches today, varsity sports take up a lot of time, so people don't stay that long just because it's so demanding. But to coach that many years and to have accumulated that many wins, so 200 is a huge milestone. So if he can qualify, he'll get it hopefully sometime here, either tomorrow night or sometime in the next couple of weeks. But 200 wins is quite an accomplishment. So hats off to Coach Kundich. And hopefully he gets that. So also restful, safe Thanksgiving. Hope all of you have a an opportunity to spend some quality time with family and friends, and we will be back at it then right after Thanksgiving break.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, board reports. Mr. Alley, anything to report? Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, the Highland Griffith Chamber met at Bridges Scoreboard last Tuesday. They had a fantastic speaker. I thought it was one of the best speakers they've had in a long time. It's Victor Garcia from the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana.
I thought you were going to tell me it was Jack Daniels.
We had a conversation about the challenges to SNAP and food insecurity in Northwest Indiana. From a legislative perspective, I don't think I have anything to report.
Thank you. Mr. Gilman?
Yeah, I attended the NISEC meeting last Wednesday, November 12th. We talked about the teachers' master agreement. It's approved by the board. I want to also give you guys some of the details on that. Normally I don't, but there were some different things this year. I'm going to have to refer to my notes on them. But Highland was thanked as a standout because in addition to the very tiny $900 base salary increase that NISEC teachers were given, Highland was able to give them a small stipend on top of that. And I know that Dr. Smith and Dr. Erdelak both worked on that. So could you talk about that for just a minute, like and how that came to be and how we were able to do that when so many districts were not able to do that?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate the shout out for that. You know, we know in this school district, this state, this country that it's really hard to find and attract and retain good special ed teachers. Very, very difficult right now. So we've seen a trend of losing them, sometimes even in the middle of the school year and not even finishing the year because they can jump and get more money somewhere else. So Dr. Erdelak had a great idea to dip into some title dollars so it didn't impact what we can give our current staff for raises. So he got creative and talked with some of the federal people, the federal workers that run these grants, and come up with some dollars to push towards NISAC so we can do that. So I'm going to let him speak for a minute on what he did and give him the credit because it was his idea and I really appreciate what he did.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
This is the third year over the title grants, and Dr. Mitchell did it in the past, and we probably had about $15,000 to $20,000 allocated for professional development and travel. Ever since COVID, we've had limited travel when it comes to professional development, so a lot of those dollars were either being moved towards Title IV, because Title IV is a little bit easier to spend out of, but in Title II, we can spend towards professional development and to attract, retain, and keep hard-to-fill positions. So we have a specialist that helps with these type of things that Dr. Smith just mentioned, and we were able to get that through. That people that had we just typified it as those that had been with us last year for the entire year that came back to us would qualify for a $1,000 stipend, which brings us to right about the point where we are now with our teachers. We work hard to try to not delineate NISEC teachers and our teachers. We want it to be all our teachers because they're impacting all of our students. So to try to minimize that divide was important to us. So they're able to collect $500 before winter break and another $500 in May. I hope to be able to do that continually. Maybe we'll have to tighten it up a little bit because I really think that coming back to the same position is also important because all kids need consistency, but students that have exceptional needs exponentially need that consistency. So that was kind of the impetus for doing so.
Thank you. Yeah, and they, like I said, the NISEC teachers were very appreciative of the extra that Highland was able to give. A little bit more about their contract. Staff salaries and hourly rates were increased by 1% or less with some small stipends based on length of years worked. The hope is that this will encourage workers to stay. Admins were given a 1% increase with stipends for absorption of other duties. So they were given some stipends, but if that's if they were taking on some things that weren't replaced. It's very, I can't convey this enough, it's very dire in special education right now. We have more special ed kids with special needs and we have more needs for special ed teachers, but we do not have the funding coming in to fill those jobs, and especially, like we talked about, with any consistency at all. NISEC, as you know, this year was unable to pay health benefits for paras, so we lost a lot of people in that situation. People just had to go to different positions so they could make a situation work for them. But the admins, I also want to add on, the admins that were given a 1% raise this year, all of them are taking 5 to 10 days off. So while it is an increase in their salary, it is an overall decrease in the budget. They will not be able to do that next year because of the elimination of some positions that we have with some NISAC admin retiring. So like I said, things do not look great in that entire budget. They are working really hard to make it work as best they can. On a lighter note, they did have a special education parent advisory council. It's brand new and it started this month, I think, maybe tomorrow, or I think it was actually the day after our last meeting. But more information on that is available on the NISAC website if you're interested. If you are a parent of a child with special needs and would like to be involved in that council, it is a great place to start and get some input and also help out and volunteer with our special needs kiddos. So that is all I have for now. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Scoop. Nothing to report, Mr. President. Okay, thank you. From a redevelopment perspective, the Redevelopment Commission had an exec session last night. 2 different vendors presented on potential redevelopments, enhancements to various redevelopment areas around town. And there have been some ongoing planning and discussions and negotiations on some potential redevelopment throughout the town. Parks Department the Park Board had their study session 2 weeks ago canceled. They have a meeting coming up this Thursday at Lincoln Center, so nothing new to report there from new business perspective, but there is a park survey. So anybody in the town that wants to provide feedback on the parks, Ethan, I think we put the link right through various methodologies, social media, through the school town, and then through the park board as well. So appreciate that. And with that, we will wrap board reports, and we will open our public hearing on our 1028. Mr. Cotter.
Mr. President, we have this evening a public hearing for the 1028 project that the school town is contemplating. Notice of this hearing was published in both the Post-Tribune and the Times on October 6th. We have here this evening, and certainly the audience is going to have an opportunity to come forward and ask questions that they may have. But before that happens, I want to introduce Sean McGill of who's with the financial consulting firm of Baker Tilly, who's advising the school town regarding this particular matter. Sean, go right ahead.
Welcome back, Mr. McGill.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Tauber. I will be brief. Please feel free to ask any questions or interrupt as you see fit. The financing is outlined by Dr. Smith on October 21 for the project. Is proposed to be at a maximum borrowing amount of $4.8 million, of which we conservatively estimate $4,670,000 will be available for the projects. The assumed repayment term, or what we're anticipating, is no longer than 1 year and 1 month. Based on that and the current interest rate offered by the Indiana Bond Bank for taxable bond issuances at 3.38% is $132,488. That means a total debt service payment in 2026 of $4,932,500 approximately. That payment is estimated to require about 28.5 cents of the debt service tax rate. Based upon the current debt service structure, which is funded by that debt service tax rate, there is a significant decrease in the payments from where they are today to where they'll be next year. That means that instead of increasing the rate 28.5 cents, the increase to that debt service tax rate is estimated to be 4.8 cents, and because assessed value grew approximately 4.8%, while operations levy is growing 4%, the total school tax rate is estimated to increase less than that at just shy of 4.7 cents. Indiana school corporations are bound by the Constitution to remain within the general obligation debt issue limit. The calculation of that limit is the certified net assessed valuation. So we're using 2025s here at $1,656,000,000. We divide that by 3 and multiply it by 2%, and we arrive at the school town of Highland's general obligation debt issue limit at just above $11 million. We then subtract out any outstanding general obligation bond principal, and we arrive at the current capacity of $6,175,000. After the issuance of these bonds, that capacity will decrease to $1,375,000. However, as these bonds are repaid, that capacity should increase to back to $6,175,000 and above as the other general obligation bonds are repaid within the next year. As I mentioned, the current debt service structure has significant step downs, approximately $3.25 million in 2026, with an additional step down in payment level of about $3 million in 2027. So structuring this one-year bond, all repaid in 2026, means that there is a step down of approximately $7 million in the levy anticipated to occur in 2027. This provides the district with significant flexibility to either continue to finance capital projects or manage its tax rate as it best sees fit. Increasing the debt service and total school tax rate in 2026 should bring it just a hair above 80 cents. This is not out of line with where it's been historically. In 2020, the total school tax rate was approximately 90 cents. In 21 through 23, we saw the tax rate decrease to approximately 72, 73 cents, down to a low of 67.5. In 2024, it increased to 87.7 cents. Where it stands today is 75.68 cents, and then increasing it at 4.4 cents would bring you right around that 80 cent level. So kind of splitting the difference from where you've been historically, the average property tax rate of the school corporation in Indiana in 2025 is $1.02.6. So you are about 22 cents below that average. And if we look specifically at Lake County, currently at 76 cents, school town of Highland represents the second lowest property tax rate in the county, and increasing it to 80 cents, assuming that no other changes to the other school corporations, would rank you still second, but just below Lake Central at 80.57 cents. The absolute lowest there would be the school city of East Chicago, and then the Lake County average, or I should say median, is approximately $1.20. That concludes my prepared remarks. I'm happy to answer questions.
So Sean, just looking at I'm just curious, the Lake Central member that just passed the referendum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that this 0.8057 doesn't include the referendum? Or?
That's absolutely correct. These are today's rates, so their referendum was back on top of these. Okay. I can't remember that rate off the top of my head, but assuming assessed value growth remains in that about 4% range, you could add 80 cents to whatever that referendum rate was.
So if I could really quick, just for everybody in the audience that's not looking at this, kind of just give an overview of what you just said. So we have about 6.1, call it 6.2, we'll round up, in general obligation bonding capacity. This bond issuance is proposed at about 4.8 million. That's going to be paid off in just over a year. So coupled with the reduction of the existing debt that we paid off this year, debt that's due to be paid off next year, the net to those paying property taxes, which is probably everybody in this room, is going to be roughly a slight increase of around 5 cents on the $100,000? No. How's that work on property?
So property tax rates are calculated per $100 of the
Per
assessed
$100,
valuation.
thank you, not 100.
So you take 5 cents, divide it by 100, and multiply it by the assessed value, not the market value of your homestead.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
And Dr. Smith, just again, let's add a little bit of color. So I could talk about some of the things that we're doing, but if you could also explain some of what we're paying off on this. Let me kick off. So with the passing of Senate Bill 1, the school town lost approximately $1.5 million in funding this year.
$700,000 this year, $800,000 next year, and then $1.45 million. So we're no longer able to buy school buses.
Yeah. So we're going to buy the buses that we weren't able to buy because
we need to transport kids.
Yeah, kind of need to do that, at least
Yeah.
currently.
And then
we're going to have iPads.
Yeah, our
right?
students have devices,
Right.
so we want to continue to, our students have devices, our teachers have MacBooks, so we're going to be able to replace those that's their turn to replace. You know, we have a cycle.
And
that we work
historically, you know, we had book rental fees, book fees that were due at the beginning of every year, but the state said we can no longer pay those, so yay, right, as a parent, all the parents in the room, right, we don't have to
No
pay
more
those
book fees.
anymore. But boo, now all the
Because-
taxpayers in the town of Highland have to pay. So,
Yeah.
okay, and then what else were we buying?
Yeah, so then, you know, as some of you noticed, we've done some parking lot work this year, you know, out front up here, and then we did some work over at Johnston. So we're going to, we've assessed the parking lots and when they need to be done. We're going to try to do the parking lot, the back part of the middle school, high school. That's next. Southridge's parking lot's in really bad shape, so they're next as well. So we're going to work on parking lots. We have some rooftop units at Warren Elementary that need to be taken care of, so that's important. And then that'll eat up most of the money between all that. Yep.
And right now, we are the second lowest school tax rate in Lake County, and even after this passes,
We'll still be the
we'll
second
still be
lowest.
the second lowest town tax rate in Lake County.
And it's only for a year, so once the year's paid up, it'll drastically drop and probably be even lower than East Chicago, the lowest after a year.
All right, I'm going to ask the board, comments, questions, concerns,
Mr. President, if I may.
please.
So, thank you, Sean, for being out here again today. I just want to make sure I'm reading the chart right. So, of the school districts in Lake County that did not pass referendums, Lake Ridge is at $2.63 rounded up. Then the next is Tri Creek at $1.05, Maryville at $1.02, Whiting at 81 cents, and then it would be us. So even with this, all the other school districts, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other districts had referendums on top of that. Even with that, we're still well below on the tax rate compared to our peers, and probably uncomfortably low compared to the median. Like, we're really, really being frugal with the taxpayer.
Absolutely, and especially, you'll notice that median within Lake County is approximately 10, 12 cents higher than what we see throughout the state. The reason for that being the significant impact of circuit breaker tax credits. So less metropolitan areas, they generally experience less of a circuit breaker impact simply because they have less overlapping tax rates. So on a property tax bill, it's not just the school's rate. You have the city, the county, the town, the township, library, special districts including wastewater, solid waste management, airports, things of that nature. So as you get more towards communities like those that reside in Lake County, you have just naturally higher property tax rates, which means higher circuit breaker losses experienced by those local units. So that's why you're seeing much more referendum pop up primarily in the metropolitan areas. However, after Senate Enrolled Act 1, we're anticipating that it's going to be more of a statewide wave.
Sean, I have a question. So in a year from now, we pay all this off, we have more debt dropping off as well. So we're going to be in about 60 cents, high 50s, 60 cents in a year or two, if we don't take on any more existing debt, right? Where would that place us out of the 290 some school districts in the state? To be around, I mean, just an estimate, to be, if we're at like 58, 59 cents.
Yep, so I mentioned a $7 million decrease in the debt service levy. That would be about a 40-cent decrease to your tax rate, just in debt service alone. So depending on what operations does with the assessed value, that would put you at the lowest in the state.
294 school districts.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Currently, the lowest is occupied by Fremont Community Schools, right at about 50 cents. And if you reduce 80 by 40, you'd be 10 cents lower than that.
Lowest tax rate in the state of
Yes.
Indiana. Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Anybody else? All right, want to open it up?
Yeah. This is a public hearing. It's been
Thank you.
advertised multiple
Thanks,
times
John.
in the Post-Tribune. If anyone has any questions or comments they want to make, please come up to the podium. I'll ask once again, if anybody has any comments they would like to make, please step up to the podium. If not, then you can proceed to consider the resolution. Mr. President, the first resolution you have before you is the 1028 project resolution, which is now on the floor to be acted upon.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the 1028 project resolution.
Any support, Mr. President? Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Thanks for your support, Mr. Kuba. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. President, next on the agenda is the preliminary determination resolution to be considered by the board.
Do I have that motion to approve, Mr. President? Thank you, Mr. Kuba.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez, for your support. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 5-0.
Next, Mr. President, members of the board, we have the bond resolution, which would be up for your consideration.
Do I have that motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the bond resolution.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Do I have support?
I will support that.
Thank you, Mr. Allier. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 5-0.
And finally, Mr. President, members of the board, we have the additional appropriation resolution to be considered.
Do I
An
have that
active
motion?
fund.
Motion to approve the appropriations resolution.
Support, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, and thanks for your support, Mr. Kuba. Any discussion?
If I may?
Please.
Can we just clarify, for a lot of people don't know what the difference is between doing the bond resolution and appropriation resolution. Can we just quickly describe why appropriation is important right now?
I can do that.
Please and thank you.
And with school finance, you have to have two things to spend money. You have to have the money, and you have to have the appropriation. The appropriation is the permission to spend that money.
Great, thank you. Just wanted to clarify that for the audience.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. President, we've now considered all the appropriate resolutions that are either relevant to the public hearing, and we can now close the public hearing.
1028 hearing is now closed.
Wasn't loud enough.
Love it. All right. Onward and upward. Financial. This is Adam. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks,
Safe
Sean.
travels. Thanksgiving, Sean.
Safe travels home.
Mm-hmm.
Letter A is the treasurer report. A copy of last month's treasurer report was included in your board packet, and I'm requesting approval of the report as presented.
Motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Garcia.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Vouchers.
A copy of the final voucher docket was also included in your board packet. I recommend that it be approved as well.
Motion to approve, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Stuva. Do we have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Donations.
I'm requesting approval for the following donations. The first donation is for all of the buildings from the Highland Education Foundation, and they are donating various teacher projects valued at $11,374.99, and that will go to various teachers throughout the organization. That list is in your board packet if you'd like to see the individual projects. Also at the high school, we have a donation from Stacy Snyder, $535 for Science Olympiad. High School Tri-State Industries, $1,000, Science Olympiad. And Roofers Local 26, $500 for Science Olympiad. I request your approval.
Do we have that motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the donations.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez, for that support.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion? Mrs. Gomez.
If I may. Yes, of course, we would like to thank Stacy Snyder, Tri-State Industries, and Roofers Local 26. Those are amazing donations. We appreciate the support for Science Olympiad. I was in Science Olympiad when it started, back in the 1900s, I think. And I loved it, and I know it really was the 1900s, you guys. It is a big undertaking, and they require a lot of supplies, and I think it's great that they're all donating to that. But I'd also really like to talk about the Highland Education Foundation and what they have done for our schools since their inception. I mean, $11,374 and a list of grants as long as both my arms put together, if not more so. And I know that we have seen some of those come out on social media where they talked about the grants specific to what some of our teachers, our innovative teachers, have done with that money, and it's amazing, and it's going to create so many more opportunities for our students, and we very much appreciate all the hard work that goes into raising that money and looking through those grant applications. And you know, I'm sure the fun part has got to be awarding those grants, but we appreciate all everyone does to help the Highland Education Foundation, and especially their board.
Any further discussion? I too would just like to take a moment to thank the Highland Education Foundation. When Judy Cata came up with the idea, probably about 10 years ago?
Yeah, about a decade, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all, I was on board back then, Bob, you were too, right? We're thrilled, well, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm sure you will. You like free money, right?
His wife's on the board, so he's probably happy.
Yeah, we were thrilled with what was going to happen, right? And you know, I talk all the time about the dedication of our staff, of our personnel, and our teachers are no different, right? So many times they're paying out of pocket to do things special for their classroom. So many times employees within the school are paying out of their pocket to help the teacher to do something cool for the kids. And just to have the advent of this foundation be born and develop so well, and it's been so well run with the board of directors through those past decade or so, it's just been refreshing with everything that they can do, with all the support of the school, of the town, the different fundraisers they do. The biggest one, of course, is the trivia contest, and I know we talk about that all the time, having a great time amongst ourselves, you know, all of us really competing against each other. It's just a wonderful thing, and even to have representation of some of our students on there, right?
We have 2 students on the board.
Yeah, so to allow them to see what it does, how it works, to get their input about what they need to do, how do they kind of keep it on point, right? So it's just a phenomenal thing. So I thank them immensely for everything that they've done.
Given out in a decade of over $100,000.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. All right, we'll wrap up discussion. All in favor of approving the donation?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Services and grounds reports.
Mr. Mike Sutka, our Director of Maintenance, has included a copy of the Buildings and Grounds report for your board packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Unfortunately, plowing was on there this time. Any questions, comments?
They didn't mention the summer like day right after it, did they?
They just would have waited a couple days, it would all melted. Curriculum. Welcome, Dr. Erlatt.
Thank you. I have in your board packet the Teacher Appreciation Grant allocation for the 25-26 school year. Per Indiana Code, the TAG program was established to give dollars directly to schools and Indiana teachers to attract, reward, and retain teachers who significantly impact student outcomes. We received $116,230.05 to distribute to eligible teachers this year. I request the board approve this grant as submitted.
Motion approved, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Scuba. Do we have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion?
Mr. President, if I may.
Please.
Dr. Erlatt, we've seen significant change in the language on how this money can be used. So I just want to clarify that we're still evaluating to make sure that we are distributing these funds appropriately.
Yeah, we have, I mean, the dollar amount is pretty on point with the last couple of years, but the way that we are being instructed to distribute it is changed significantly. In the past years, you had to be, as a teacher, you had to be rated effective or highly effective in order to be qualified for the grant money, and we could distribute it then to everybody who qualified, which oftentimes meant our entire teaching staff. And it was a smaller allocation, but at least everybody got some. They've changed the rules on us to say that we can only distribute to 20% of our teaching staff. Our co-op teachers are included in that number also, so they had to be with us last year for at least 120 teaching days. And then they have to show that they've moved students at least a year's worth of growth. That's for the Tier 1 stipend of $3,500 at Tier 1. So we still have some ironing out of how exactly we're going to jump the hoops, but we're definitely going to take the money. We're definitely going to try to, as fairly as we can, pass it along to our teachers because we don't want to leave money on the table, but they have significantly changed how we need to allocate the money.
And by they, it's
State.
the state.
Yeah.
We're waiting on a little more guidance, some more guidelines, and when we have that, we're going to sit down with the Teachers Association and then hammer it out with the Teachers Association as well, so they're in the discussions with that, and then second semester we can only give it out to 31 teachers, according to what the state has told us.
Does the state have a deadline for when that has to be distributed by?
Yeah, they do. It's, it might be actually, it has to be decided by us who's getting it by the end of January. It has to be distributed by the middle of April. And then, of course, any leftover funds have to immediately be returned.
Yeah.
So we won't be doing that.
I hope not.
No, and that's the tricky part is they do have 3 tiers. But there's a $3,500 tier, there's a $5,000 tier, and a $7,500 tier. The higher you go up the tiers, the less distribution you can make for our teachers. They're already going to be a smaller pool of teachers getting it. $3,500 is nothing to sneeze about. It was certainly more than they've been getting in the past, so we're trying to figure out the fairest way to get the most money out to the most deserving teachers. It stinks that we're getting pinched in that way so that we can't give it out to everyone that deserves it. Because there will certainly be more than 20% of our teachers that qualify for that at least Tier 1 level.
And I know you said this, and I don't think I brought it up in my NISEC report, but NISEC teachers that teach Highland are included in the Highland. Eagle Park and NISEC do not get their own pool of money for that.
So they were allowed to apply for it as a co-op.
Right.
They were denied as an entire co-op, but the Eagle Park is a standalone. But so then every other teacher outside of Eagle Park is then within the district that they serve. So that meant, like, I think 17 of our NISEC employees that work inside the school town do qualify for.
They have to have a roster, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that
Yeah.
they'll have their own at NISAC, if it's like Eagle Park in their building with a roster. Yep. Good clarification.
Any other discussion? Mr. Kuba and I were doing some quick math.
Yeah. So based on the number at 3,500, that eats up 108,500. If you just did it equally 35, which only leaves 85. So you only have a little bit if you want to do the 7 or the 5, right?
Well, and it gets tricky too, because there's not every teacher can qualify based on what they teach.
Right.
Can they qualify for the tier 2 and 3? And so the last thing we want to do is create further divides amongst our teachers saying, well, I would have done that if it was available to me. When it comes to, they distinguish the tier 2 as a, whether it's a hard to fill position, like special education is one, the STEM field, anything within the STEM field is one, and what else? Like the science and math at the secondary level can be counted. Positions that go unfilled for 90-plus days.
And we never have that because
We don't have that.
even if we have to hire someone on an emergency license, we have to fill it.
Right.
We can't have it sitting there because kids are in that room.
So, yeah, and so it does create extra hoops and some things to kind of flesh
It's
out.
not going to be hard to spend money
It won't.
because it's not that, in
No.
the scheme of things, it's just the rules you got to play within and...
Yeah, it looks like they just took the base level and divided your, like, what your 20% possibility is, the base level, multiplied it, and that's how they came up with your allocation. So to stretch it out the furthest, that's what, they highly encourage you to spend it in multiple tiers, but you don't have to.
Gotcha. You'll be busy for the month of January.
Any further discussion? All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Professional leaves.
The professional leaves are presented in your board books for review and recommended for approval.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kuva.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Appreciate that. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hey, I'm perfect right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't mess with the streak. All
Extremely
right.
accurate.
Hey, you're throwing a no-hitter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Resignations.
Yeah, Cindy Adams, retirement, Chief Financial Officer for the corporation, January 31st, 2026. Scott Carlson, resignation as a teacher at the high school, October 28, 2025. And Lauren Makarakis, resignation as a teacher and boys and girls diving coach at the high school, December 19th, 2025. I so recommend.
We don't have to accept all these.
Correct.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Can we not do that?
We could edit it. Whoever makes the motion, if we want to edit out the retirement.
Somebody might be upset with us, but...
Right here. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resignation.
Thank you.
Support, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kuba. Any discussion?
I'll reserve mine for later.
All right. Cindy, I appreciate all that you've done over the last 14 years. It's been phenomenal.
She's got 2 more months.
We've got a couple months, so.
And I'm taking the battery out of her car so she can't drive away.
And we won't lose your phone. Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, appreciate all that you've done. It's been a pleasure working with you for, I think, pretty much all
Yeah.
of them.
Thank you, it's been a joy, that's for sure.
Some days are better than others.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Appointments.
Yeah, all these are for the 2025-26 school year unless read differently. Rico Maldonado, appointment as a volunteer 7th grade boys basketball coach at the middle school. Michael Gamalieri, appointment as the volunteer baseball coach at the high school. Josh Daniels, appointment as a volunteer boys wrestling coach. Sarah Russell, appointment as a Title I aide at Warren. Summer Rodriguez, appointment as an ELL aide at Warren. Aline Russell, appointment as, or transfer from ELL aide position to the TRA position at Warren. Stacy, and I'm going to get this one right, Miskowitz, right? Miskowitz, got it. Stacy Miskowitz, appointment as a Title I aide at Warren. Joanna Oliver, appointment as a bus aide at the corporation November 10th, 2025. George Tucker, appointment as a freshman basketball coach at the high school, 2025-26 school year. I so recommend.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept the appointments as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Thank you for your support, Mr. Elliott. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We can hire the new people.
Thank you.
We'll now open it up to audience comments. Please step to the podium. Please, you'll have 3 minutes to discuss, to make your comments. We don't discuss ongoing investigations or employment issues or
Rick
personnel.
Barber, 9221 Parkway Drive, Highland, Indiana. I'd like to explore this issue. It's like, it was talked about in a very general and broad manner, this increase of money that's available, and apparently before you had more flexibility to award this extra money, and now it's been restricted to only 20% of teachers can get a pay increase for quality of teaching, let's use that phrase. It's like, we can measure math progress, we can measure English progress, we can measure STEM progress from any given year to the next year. Science, I think, history, econ. How in the world do you measure increase for a PE teacher? That's the thing that has always puzzled me, and I'm not looking for an answer. I'm asking you to express your frustration to me. Could I just put that on the table?
Also frustrated.
Yeah.
I am also frustrated.
We've asked the state that same question, Mr. Fulbright.
Because you're in a wheelchair. You can't play in the basketball team unless you're with the wheelchair basketball team. It's kind of like, it's like, in pure raw talent, we may say, well, certainly you can improve it. You can always improve it. But it's kind of like, God gave you a certain amount of ability, and you're not going to change a lot of it. And the teacher, as much as he can guide you and put you through a routine to improve whatever these sprints or long-distance running or weightlifting, whatever it might be, it's like, I just don't know how the PE teachers can be rewarded with this. I scratch my head with my imagination as best I can. I don't see how you can pull it off. Have you found any insight into how you might pull that off? Other than asking the state to say, how can we do it?
I mean, if you're from my standpoint, it goes back to the days when we had SMART goals within the rubric. You have to figure out a way to get clever, but no, it's extremely challenging with a lot of the different subjects, especially the fine arts scenarios, for sure. Because you can take it to art, you can take it to music and gym, for sure.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Don't be shy. Any of the students back there? They're like, no, don't even look at it. Come on up.
Do not want to be recognized.
Need your name and address.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. It's cold out there.
Hi, I'm Samantha Garibay, 3015 98th Street in Highland. Just in regards to measure PE for fine arts, I'm a parent of a special needs teacher, or a kid, and for 2 years he refused to go to music, gym, any of those. This is the first year that he attends all of them, so I do actually think that that is a step of progress, and I think that that should be noted. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Anybody else? Oh, go ahead.
I mean, just in a quick response to that, I absolutely agree, and I think our administrators, when it comes to it, when I say get clever with, we just have to figure out a way to be able to justify that what they put down as their measure of growth is something that they speak on beforehand. So we do have to get clever, because there's not always something cut and dry like the 4th grade or 5th grade or 6th grade when they have I learned from one year to the next, something easy to point to. So some of this more unique circumstances absolutely point to growth, for sure.
Anybody else? Come on up. Love to hear the students speak. Oh, you got a student right there. Your name is a good start.
Name and address.
Address,
if
yeah.
you remember it.
I'm Victoria Aywan. I am from 3701 45th Street in Highland, Indiana. I cadet teach for Mrs. Elsie, the Southbridge and Warren Elementary Schools. And I started in September, And since then, I have seen the difference that she has made in the students' lives because I had Mr. Jasek, a remarkable teacher, but Mrs. LC has changed these students' lives, and I can see it every day, every week I see them. I see this improvement. So there is improvement that you can't see in music. So it is hard because of the special needs students, but I just want to say that I have seen this improvement, especially with the first graders that I have right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to hear our music teachers are doing great, too. We hired some new music teachers a year, too.
Thank you for being a cadet. I'm sure the teachers appreciate the help.
Anybody else? All right, we'll wrap that. We'll go to board member comments. Mr. Elliott.
Okay, Mrs. Adams' retirement. Congratulations, enjoy yourself. You deserve it. I'd like to thank the Highland Educational Foundation. I've just seen a lot of great projects come from that. All the years that my kids have went through high school. So that's a big amount of money, and they keep coming through every single year with that. And I saw a couple of great projects at Johnston, from when Mr. Tolliver did the bikes for the kindergartners to now he has a grant for pickleball. So there is another of our physical education teachers that's just being innovative, So thank you to them, I appreciate that, and all of our other donors donating for Science Olympiad. And I'd also like to thank our teacher sponsors for that too, because that's extra above and beyond. I think that's real important, STEM project. So, STEM program rather. But that's about it. Thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Garcia.
Yeah, a few things. Good luck to Highland Theater and their presentation of Fools. Winter sports is ramping up. Good luck and congratulations to Coach Hundage. Do want to just give a shout out to Ruby Rubicava, who is our finalist for the Lilly Endowment, which if she wins that, that's full tuition. We've had some exemplary scholars come out and win that, so Ruby's awesome. Good luck. Also want to say thank you to the Education Foundation for over $11,000 in grants. That's amazing. Cindy, you have been so critical to me even having somewhat of an idea on what we're supposed to do up here. So I congratulate you on your retirement. I am so sad to see you go, but I'm so happy for you, and I will just leave you with this parting comment of the food bank has a vice president of business administration position open at the moment. So
she lives in Maryville.
Yeah, so in case you're looking for something to do, because gardening or whatever it is that you're planning on doing. I'm kidding. I wish you all the best. I'm very happy for you, and I feel honored that I had an opportunity to work alongside you in the small capacity that I was able to do so. For Ms. Garave, thank you so much for sharing that. And Victoria, I'm sorry I missed your last name, but both of you feeling that you needed to champion our staff is awesome. I'm so excited that you both felt the need and compelled to come up and say what you said, especially for a student. It's not always easy getting in front of a microphone in front of people that you don't really know all that well. So thank you for sharing your comments, Ms. Garave. I will encourage you that comments like that are the type of testimony that needs to be heard in the State House when they're making rules like these rules. So if you feel compelled to, when session starts next week, 2 weeks, that's a great opportunity to reach out to our state rep and our state senator and say I'd be willing to share what my experience is with my local school district and being comfortable to do that. So thank you so much for sharing today. That's all I have.
You should hear Victoria in the orchestra.
Oh, very good.
She's got some skills.
Awesome.
Far better than her brother's skills. Ben's like, I thought we were tight. We were until that. Ms. Cummins, go ahead.
Thank you all for being here. I know it's a cold, kind of a dreary night. It's obviously midnight out there now. It's dark at 3 o'clock. Congrats to the Highland Theater Company on their upcoming production of Fools. It's coming out this weekend. Good luck, break a leg, whatever we need to tell them. I'm excited about seeing that. Congratulations to Coach Kundich, and ditto to all that they have said ahead of me, and of course, Ms. Adams. Congratulations on your retirement. We approved it, but we have not let you leave yet. So I know you're going to be around for a little while longer, but as my predecessors have said tonight, everything you have done has helped me to understand not only our finances better, but my role better, and what our school does. And I appreciate everything you do, and I hope that you have a glorious retirement. And if you ever want to come back and hang out, I'll even talk about math with you, if that's what it takes. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. What's your name? Kuba.
Yeah.
Very good.
I know, it's almost there. Yeah, Ms. Adams, 14 years, thank you. I mean, all the audits that we've been through, and you, nothing, because you do an outstanding job.
We've got one that we got to wrap, so let's not.
We're in the middle
let's
one.
not dig
Hey, you know what? I'm going out there. I'm going out. She's going out on top.
I told them that's my parting gift.
Right? But thank you, because that doesn't happen. I don't think people realize in the state, schools don't get through the audits all the time, because we've got a great, financial director that did a great job, and wish you well in your retirement. And a shout out to the food bank, though. You don't have to actually be like a VP. They need volunteers too, don't they?
That's right. I
So I just
will
want to
gladly
put the
take you
very-
on as a volunteer.
I'm just trying to help out here. You don't have to be going 5 days a week, but around the holidays, he'd use you.
It's a lot of Victor.
I know, that's why, maybe one day a month,
In this day and age, I think you need help every day.
But for the audience too, thank you. It's great to have you guys get up, because I know it's hard to get up there, and especially with Mr. Kroll there, just, staring at you. But thank you for sharing, and tell your friends too. Tell other community members if there's stuff to share, come here. That's how we hear. That's how even administration hears. They know what's going on more than we do, because they obviously work full-time here, but they like hearing it too. Teachers like to hear it, and hear it from a student. I don't think that's anything better. As far as a teacher down there, Rick, don't you like hearing from students? Isn't that that's what blows, gets you going? Highland Education Foundation, my wife Jane, one of the things she loves doing is giving out the grants, and when she does that, it is just like the day, it just brightens up. It's like the best day of my year is when she gives out grants. It is awesome, the amount of people being helped, the students. So when we have that trivia fundraiser coming up, it's a big night, It's competitive for some. Others, just having fun, But it's a great time, so if you could come in February, I believe it is, come out to it. It's a great event. Same thing for the theater group, the 4 days for both casts. I'm sure they're going to do an outstanding job. It's always the best production. And with that, have a safe and happy Thanksgiving next week to everyone. That's all I have.
All right, thanks. And I'll wrap it up. Just as, I'd like to add on my good luck, best wishes to all the cast of the Highland Theater Company of Fools. It's pretty cool that they have two completely different casts that they can go out there and have a couple performances through the next 4 days. So good luck to them on that. Fingers crossed for Coach Kundich after his semi-state run last year. It'd be great to see him get number 200 on our home court. That'd be a good time. As we're looking next week at Thanksgiving, which I don't know where this year went, but I just want to call out all the different schools that we have. I'm going to start with the National Junior Honor Society. They, as a requirement, have to get, as our Honor Society does at the high school, right, so many hours of volunteer time. And I know some of the girls have been spending time at some local food pantries. And it kind of highlighted the need, I think, beyond the government shutdown. Mr. Garcia could probably say this far better than I. But there's still a lot of folks who need a lot of help around here. And so many of our schools have been having food drives, coat drives, gloves, mittens, hats, whatever it is, right, to help those, some of the classmates in need, right? And it's this time of year, it's great to see all that, but as Mr. Garcia knows, it lasts year round, right? So let's not forget as we get out of the holiday season that, you know, the need doesn't go away when the holidays do, but it's great to see all that our schools are doing to help their community. So with that, that's one of the things I'm thankful for. So I wish you all a safe, happy, healthy Thanksgiving, and hopefully the Bears keep winning. All right. Let's close this meeting.
Motion to adjourn?
Support. Thank you, and thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Good.